Okay, we're starting to record. We're going to go to grades, center, go to tests, and make available these two parts. Okay. Zoom, zoom, start, Zoom workplace, join with audio. Okay. No, I think it's good. In a Zoom meeting, open activity. You can make both. Create. Attendance. What's due? Instructions.
Dr. Rush, are we having a class today?
Yeah. The class is, what I'm going to be doing is having each just go over if anybody has questions for about Monday for the next Monday, and also if you want me to look at your projects.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So what do you think, Jasper? How's it going?
It's going pretty well. I think we're almost done.
Okay. Okay, and have you done your slides yet
Yeah,
for
we
the
got a few
presentation?
so I think we still have all of it.
Yeah, and it's on. What group are you?
Group 4.
Okay, so yeah, that needs to be done. Everything needs to be done, and everybody has to be available when you're presenting. We'll highlight everybody in the group, and then you can assign one person to
Yeah,
do all. Okay.
yeah.
So Daniel,
Sorry.
okay, how are you doing? Okay. So Daniel, we need to have some time here. I went over that peer review, and we need to spend some time on it before we release it.
Okay.
Because I'm wondering, Daniel, in terms of a number, not just say true, false, but how well they did. Because if attends meetings, well,
I
they
could ask for
attended
a
50.
percentage.
What?
I could ask for a percentage.
Yeah, we need to talk about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of how we're going to do that, of overall. And then we need, is there a section where they can put comments?
I can do that.
Yeah. We'll discuss it. I don't know if we should do it that way or just have a document that they just fill out like a table.
Sure, either works.
It may be just easier if we can kind of do like a form to have like a table that they fill out. We see everybody, they put themselves plus everybody else in their group.
Okay, everybody on the side.
Like something like that we can do an Excel sheet or something like that, or a form that they can
Okay.
fill out, that they can see it all at once. We need to discuss that.
Sure.
But that's what I'm,
We'll figure it out.
yeah, we'll figure that out at the end of what is best for us to do. Because the way it's set up now, I think there's some issues. But anyways, it's good as it's just like chat. It's just like Gen AI. It's a good first step. Then we need to just clarify it. So, have you looked at Daniel? Did you look at Spotlight? You,
Uh,
basically, I think if you go to participants, there must be highlight.
oh, I see. Change the spotlight feature.
So I'm thinking when. Oh, I don't want to. I'm thinking when people present like group one, we can try it out today. But when people are presenting, I'd like everybody, it's almost like everybody from that group to come on stage.
I see what you. I can do that.
And let's try it out today, to practice with it. But then it becomes good because we see everybody on stage, everybody can introduce themselves.
I got you.
And then that person that's in charge, the group is assigned to be the main presenter, can go ahead and do that.
Okay.
I think that, what do you think about that idea?
I like it.
I like it too, because then we can focus on those people So one of the things that we want to emphasize to the students is that everybody come on time, and then everybody's available, and that I guess only the host can spotlight. That's my guess, right? The host or the co-host? Right. So I guess it's only the host and the co-host. I don't think I wouldn't think so. Right. Look at the, the the groups, and we'll start with group one, and then we highlight them, the spotlight, and then that person can take over, share their screen, and then we go to group two.
Yeah.
So you may want to do that as well to see how that works. So for the second class, are you going to be able to come for December 2nd? I don't think so, right?
No.
So maybe in the our group 0A,
Yeah.
ask them, show them what they need to do. You understand?
Yeah.
So then you can do that. So we can, okay. All right, so I think we're ready to go. We'll see who we get here, what will come up. So everybody get on their cameras. I'm going to record to the cloud. We'll go to live stream to YouTube. Choose an account. Choose my channel. Go live. Taking Zoom to YouTube. Preparing the live stream. The meeting. Perfect. Okay, do we have everyone camera on? Daniel, do you have a class today after this? Okay, fine. Just checking. So we'll try. We'll start. Okay, I'm recording to YouTube. I'm also doing recording to my own computer on premise, and we're ready to begin. So welcome everybody. A lot of people are not in Miami, but that is a case, and we can continue. Daniel, just going in and out here. If you want to, can you moderate the chat, Daniel, for me?
Sure. And if anyone has any questions, just please
Yeah, and Daniel will be responding. And if there's something that I need to respond to everyone, let me know, Daniel, and I'll ask you also to do this. Okay, so we're here the week of Thanksgiving, and hopefully everybody's safe wherever they're supposed to be, and we can continue. So, what I wanted to do today, since it was our online class, kind of our alternate online class today, is I wanted to give a chance for everyone to be clear what was due on December 2nd, which is our last day, which really, if we look at it, is a week from today. So a week from today, we are going to have all our final presentation's done. It should be in a professional manner. It should be done quickly. And I'll be giving people feedback on it. It should be around 7 minutes. I will start with group 1. I will start exactly on time. You know how we go online here when we do our exams, it seems like everybody's ready and raring to go a number of minutes. So I'd like you to do the same for December 2nd, that everybody be online at least 10 minutes early. We're ready to go, and at the assigned time, we will start right away and we will move from one group to another. I will make some formal announcements, what needs to be uploaded, what are the other parts. So in generic, now that we see everyone, and hopefully people can turn on their cameras, is there anything in general people need to know about? I released the exam scores, both part 1 and part 2. People are asking, all the grades will be curved at the end, but the second exam will be curved in a similar manner to what the first exam was. So I think in general, people did a bit better on the multiple choice part, but in general, I'm leaving it as the same curve. So you can look at that. If you have additional questions about anything, you can stay with me afterwards. Okay? Anything else we need to know? Daniel, is there something that you wanted to bring up on that part?
No.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is, let me just share my screen. Let's see what I got here. And if I share my screen, we look at what's due section. Let me move this to the what's due. Let me take the edit mode off. We have our final project in class. It will be done. What I will have Daniel do is what in Zoom they have, what they do is spotlight. So I can spotlight the groups. So each group member needs to appear with your group. You will get points off if you are not with in your group presentation if you have not attended, and make sure that you have go to a computer that has a working webcam. Okay, and let me just try to go to our audit area. And if I'm in HI Audit, I go to Final Group Projects. In the Final Group Project, Michael, Arnav, Antonio, and Jake. And if I go to Group 0 already, each group, why don't we do that now? Each group should have a folder that looks like this, Final Project. Each of you under your group, let's do it right now. Each of you in your final group should say a folder called Final Project. Put in, at this point, your URL, your final URL. You can write in the items, you'll be, at the end, right after your feedback, you'll put the corrections that you made from the feedback from the professor, or corrections made since. You know what, Daniel, let's make it since feedback from professor, because they may have made other corrections, Daniel, right, that we didn't finish a couple of things. So instead, change that corrections made since feedback from professor, and then put in, for the Zoom link, put group recording, group final group Zoom link recording. make a change to those too. Daniel, be so kind. Thank you. So each of you should have, when I look at final projects, right, each of you, if I go to group 2, right, is the proposal, and then proposal 2 basically have, did you see that? Robert Kim, I saw you, is have then on proposal. I don't need, this should be all, by the way, this should all be in its own proposal group, but make another folder. Make the folder on top of final proposal. So if I go back, everybody's group should say final project, your URL, corrections made since, leave this blank, and final group Zoom link recording. Recorded to the cloud with no password. And then within your final group project, then you'll put within that, you can upload your slides, you can upload any additional materials that you would like as part of your final project. So Jasper, did you do it for your group? Okay, so do it. So you can text each other to it. So this should be, right, of my different groups then, of group 2, then I have a group 3, 4, right, 5. Okay. So I would do it as instead, group 5, make a folder rather than having final project, continuation, final project, make it as a folder, not as an item. You can delete these, make it as a folder, right? If I were going in, I would make it, if I had my edit mode on, right, I would make it as a content, I would make it as a content folder, right? Content folder, final project, then I would put in the dates there and then submit, and then I could put the PowerPoints as well. Nikita, question. You have a question? Yes, exactly, all your materials. And you probably, Nikita, you can put in the beginning ones. It'll be good to have in the beginning ones, and then when you make any changes, Nikita, you'll put it in that folder. All your materials. Great question, Nikita. So all your materials you will be putting into that final project. So I automatically, myself and you automatically can go to that folder to find everything you have, and in the beginning of that folder you will have that link, so it will look just like, in this case, that final group folder in that group 0 right there under final project. If I go into that final project, click it, it will list then your Google Slides, anything else that you may have done on the side. Maybe you did, Nikita, additional recordings that you want to upload there as well. Anything, everything there, but it will be your final project there. You can't put extra videos, you can put in extra videos, but those videos should also be in your website, right? So they don't necessarily, but let's say you did additional ones that didn't make it to the website or anything else. But if it's on the website, you don't need to put that in. You know, if you've yeah, but the website you should have, right. You should have appropriate links. Your links should be working, right, Nikita? Your links should be working, right? They shouldn't be just in your Facebook, but your links in your site isn't. But good point. So everybody clear on that? And that should be on the top. So if I go to group 1, that should be on the, again, what's wrong with this? If I look at group 1, this is an item. This is not a folder. This is a folder. You see how different the thing is? So do it again. So race solutions and your, basically it should have your URL there. It should be in a folder so you can put everything in your folder. So you need to redo that, right? So it's the same idea of group 2, right? Final project, include final project, make it on the top, right? You can just bring it up, right? You can bring it up to the top, that it's listed on the top, right? Or you could go down here on these and you can make sure final project, you want to make it on the very top. And then within this, the final project, then you'll submit your slides, you'll submit anything else that you think is pertinent, that you want to be that I look at or that you have available, that you have. Now let me ask you, Daniel. Daniel, do you have access to your audit area after you leave this class? So if you, when you get a chance, you want to check that because then people can use that as well, huh? You do. So do you see that, Nikita? That's the great idea too, that you can basically gain access to later on anytime that you want to. And where is this? This is a cloud. This is a cloud service that we have. So if I went to group 0 here, right? Hopefully they're not here. Hopefully they would have on their final projects. They would have this. Available to them. And this is already available for each of these groups here of the final project. So for instance, if I did the final projects, so Robert, Cam, are you here?
Yes.
Yeah. So who else in your group is here? You have Julian, Eduardo, Ethan, and who else? So Julian's here. Is Eduardo here? Ethan's here. And what about Cam? Okay, great. So you know what, Daniel? It'd be interesting. Those folks, what? Yeah, spotlight them and see what how that works. And tell me when you're done with that. So you'll always spotlight me and you'll spotlight yourself, Daniel. Okay. And Nikita is part of the group? I see. But I mean, I see Nikita on my view. Okay. It's because her hand is raised? Right. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? So just to play around, I'm doing this to play around with. How does that, what do you think about that idea, Daniel? So then we have all those people and we have all those people, right? And what's nice is you can add people when you go to that person, you can add them to the spotlight or replace them to the spotlight. Be also good, Daniel, to add that for our additional part for our task for Zoom, that everybody knows how to do. What? Yeah, isn't it? I think it's useful, that I see that as, and then can we take Nikita's hand off? Yeah, I see her. I don't know why. Yeah, so I'm just asking here. Yeah, okay, okay. But anyway, so it's interesting to see that. I wanted to make sure that we saw everybody, that yeah, now it's okay. Yeah, so she left. I think because she had, maybe even me being host, she had her hand up. Everybody understand that? So when you're going to be there, you'll be spotlighted. Everybody in your group will be spotlighted so you can see it. So for instance, Ethan, you want to make sure that when you're going to be doing any recording coming, because maybe it's where you are, the lighting, you can't see your face. You know what I mean? You look dark, the lighting and so forth. But that's how we want to do it. And then there's the part. Okay. So in group 2 then, right, I'm going to stop sharing. And then I have you. Do you see that? I have you then all highlighted. Pretty neat. And it's called Spotlight. So next to the participants, you can then spotlight who you want as a group. And it's as if you're coming on stage. You see that, Robert? So it's as if you're coming on stage. Everybody, it's really nice, right? So you've got your whole group. How I want to start is you'll quickly introduce whoever's being the presenter will quickly introduce everybody in your group and then start sharing your slides. So let's take you as an example. So who have you decided in this group who's going to be the presenter? Pardon? No, what I'm going to do is quickly, since it's so quick, sometimes it can present, but what I'll have you do is I'll have you choose one person to be kind of like your overall presenter. If you want, and this is up to you, if let's say, Cam, you did the fast spots and you want to just show it, you can show it, but everyone will present when you do your final recording, Cam. The final recording will show everything. So you could even start, in this case, you can even spotlight yourselves there, have everybody appear, and then have that one person then present for me. For you, Cam, I want each person in the group to present as if you were presenting to a group of in, possible angel investors, showing your whole thing, so you'll be showing everything. I'm giving you 7 minutes. For mine, I would imagine that you should double that for your version, but you don't want to be doing half hour. You know what I mean? But basically, to be able to say, hey, what's my mission? What are we trying to accomplish here? And go through the facts and go through your entire website. And what I'll be doing on next Monday is I'll be giving you feedback. You have an opportunity there to correct it before you do your final presentation and also before you do your final upload. The final upload is due before scheduled final exam. And when is that, Daniel, for this class? December what? Before, at what time? Yeah, so before 4 o'clock, have everything, December 9th. But what I suggest, Cam, is that you submit that earlier. If you're finished by December 4th, upload it by December 4th, get it out of the way. That's what I would do. But if you want to be doing any type of corrections I have, any things that you haven't you wanted to make adjustment to what I've asked you to do, you'll put that in your final project notes of any other updates since the last time I saw it, and then you'll do a formal Zoom presentation, record it to the cloud, no password, and upload that, and you'll have that link and you'll present that link. Is that clear, Julian? The ninth, it should be, you should be doing your formal link after you finish everything, after you hear my feedback, after you've made the corrections. We're ready to go. This is the best of the best that we have. Do you understand? Makes sense. And then you can take that with you, Julian, and use it anywhere. Say, hey, this is it. It doesn't have anything to do with tied to this course. Hey, what have you done? This is an example of the work that we can do. That's the beauty. You understand? And then you have access even to the audit area, but you even have that link that you can take with you. You even have those slides that you can take with you, but you can basically let people know. One of the things also I want you to do is show everything that you have for the final one, Julian. So for instance, if you've used Fastbot, let's even take the example. Julian, who wants to share in your group right now? Let's show an example. Okay, so share your website. And you would have, of course, you would have a slides. You would start off with your slides, Julian, when you're going to be presenting you or something, you'll be starting with your slides, and then you'll have the URL of Insights by AI Consulting, which is a great name, right? You'll be talking about, you'll have a few slides before this, then you'll go into your slides, and then you'll show all your possibilities of it. For instance, of what I like here, I'm just giving you even examples. What I like here: Optimus, artificial intelligence, insight consulting, data-driven solution for greater success, leading artificial consulting firm to boost small businesses and optimize decision-making processes. Right? So we know what you're doing, right? And then you'll be basically going to all those, quickly going through all the sites that I have. If I click on read more, right, about our stores, welcome from enhancing, I don't know, this is a lot. I don't know, you may want to check on that. Welcome to Artificial Insights, our story from customer. So what are you going to be doing? AI, our team specializes in AI-driven analytic predictive modeling from enhancing customer to threatening. This is even, I'm going to give you a head start on that, Julian. I would kind of, our story, what are you going to give me? Even maybe bullet points. It's a lot of reading here. Don't you feel like it? And it's a good beginning, but I'd start off, and this is for everybody. I'm going to be saying the same things. I'm using you as a test site, but I would say welcome to Baba. I would take away with the welcome stuff. You know what I mean? Get to the point. We empower businesses. I don't even know what that all means. What are you going to do? What's a problem, and what are you going to help me solve? And maybe even give me examples. I think it sounds right about okay. And then you have here, you want to show your Fastbot. Click on your Fastbot, right? Hey, how can I help you today? What I would do too, everybody, hey, how can I help you today, is change it that it's meaningful. What AI product do you want, or something like that, or how can, what solution, add it, rather than you took the generic one, right? How can I help you today? It may be, I'm depressed, right? How can I help you, right? I need my house cleaned. You know what I mean? It's like, I got a lot of things. How, I don't know if you can help me, but make it more pinpointed, Julian, to what you have, and then show an example, like what's your team, what questions can that answer. So type something of what that can answer. And you should show like two examples, be prepared on your presentation, and your final recording you should actually show how everything is working. So put what can this do, what solutions do you provide. Have you ever checked it out? Right, I have not. So everybody in your group, right, should check it out. Apologies, I do not have that information, right? So you have to check it out. What can it answer? You don't want to be in the situation where you're recording and every time it says apologies, I don't have that information. Yeah. Who is your team? Let's try this one. Who's on your team? Who did it? So you understand? So you have to go back and say, what is it picking up? And if not, you have to be able to do that. Just because we have a bot here, right, Julian? Okay, so you have to redo it again, right? So that's what I'm saying. So that's perfect. It's as if we rehearsed it, Julian. For the what's the what, it's great. You know, like the bloopers that they average that they do. Those are the best parts, right? The bloopers at the end of a show, right? You're laughing on this one. So this is about the can't that can't answer anything. That comes up apologies, right? It's like apology. I lost my homework, right? Like what I hear from students, right? Apology. I didn't do the quiz on time, right? So it's like those things, apologies. We don't want it. So one is redo this. Redo it today. I suggest that you keep on. Were you the one responsible, Julian? Right. So even more so, Julian, you can blame the other students that you did it and you didn't check your work, right? That you're just so excited it works, right? That's something, but you want it to be useful. And then I don't know if you can even label that people even know. Can you put a label in front of it or to the side? Daniel, you can, can't you? Yeah, with the free program, you can put so people know what it is. Because if you see that icon, most people have no clue what that is. Ask me a question about our services or something. But it's great that I'm glad that we're doing this, that everybody can see this, and that you're not going to be, there's no reason, everybody hear me? There's no reason why any group's fastbot shouldn't work. And you understand, those are things that you will be marked down with. Just because you have it, you will be marked down just to have it, and then you want to have an explanation on it, right? And then you want to be able to see, does the services, where's your team? Okay, now you have everybody's picture. Okay, so you guys have a lot to do before you eat turkey, right? Right? Hopefully you're not going to be slaving over the kitchen too much. But you see, one of the things is what's missing here, Ethan? What's missing here? Not only are your pictures missing, but what? A description of what you guys do. You got a lot of co-founders. Instead of co-founders, everybody's a co-founder, Ethan. What I would do is it somebody for marketing? Is somebody the CFO? Is somebody the uh, basically another aspect? You know, somebody's the CTO, somebody is, you're all co-founders, right? But you're something else too. And even in your LinkedIn, if I go, do those LinkedIn clicks work? Hey, you're right. So there's a lot of things that you guys, but do you see what I'm going to demand on that project? And I don't want to waste my time, and I don't want to waste your time saying it's not working. When you're presenting on Monday, you should be presenting as if this is it. We don't have to do anything else. It's the final part. I just want to show you that it's the final part on it. This story here, I would make it much more concise and give the point of what are you going to give me? Our stories. I can see this was great for first draft of AI, right? Coming, doesn't it? It's like a lot of words. There's no spelling mistakes, but I have no idea. So generic that it could be for anything. Welcome. Blah blah blah. So that's where we are. Our team of experts specializing in. So if they're specializing, and you may want to change it because this is not what you're going to be doing. You understand? That seems a lot. You're doing. Does anybody in your group really know predictive modeling? Okay, so if you're going to show Tableau, then you're going to have a video on Tableau. You understand? So this should show what you guys can actually do. You remember what I said before? This is not this is not make believe, even though we're using Gen AI, right? That can be all hallucinations to the farthest that we want. This should not be hallucinating, right? And so you're going to do it. Book online. Anything that you have up there has to work. If it doesn't work and you don't plan it to work, then you don't have it on your website. And then the last slide you're going to show me is what? Right. Each member of your group, their first name, last name, and what task they they accomplish for your group specifically. So Julian would be next to you, fastbots, right? I would imagine. Did the fastbot somebody else? I did whatever the social media. And is there social media here? Or the links? I don't need to go through that, but I'm just telling you that this is what I'm going to be checking on. Okay, so you need to put them up there, right? Right, of course, you know this, right? And the addresses on it. But these are the portions of what I want, right? That you would be. So there shouldn't be a reason when you're coming in that you're saying these aren't working, these links. You will do it, but I'm going to go short with this because I'll be interrupt the difference, just like I'm doing now, Julian. I'm interrupting, giving you feedback on it. But when you're going to be doing it, you'll start off with, thank goodness Dr. Rush isn't here, and we're able to show this to investors, right, or to potential partners or potential clients. This is what we do. And then you'll be showing all of it. And then you can say, feel free to watch our website. Feel free to even put in. And did you do the podcast or not yet? Okay, all right. So is there anyone in the group? So you got the idea, Julian, that you're going to be with me on Monday. This is not just a walk in the park. This is basically saying we're showing you our completed project. That's what it is. And that tweak between December 2nd and before the 9th is basically just making little tweaks. Oh, we'll change the color, or maybe we'll do another background, or whatever we'll do. Or there's a couple of little things that we have to do, and we'll just spend time after you get the presentations and I give you feedback. You'll decide, Julian, with your group, what you're going to change, making those additions to what I said. You'll put that under your folder where it says, what changes have we made since that feedback from the instructor, from the professor? And then your recording you'll have that recording. So there's no reason. So you see what the recording is. It makes no sense to do the recording, that official recording. You may want to just record just for you to practice, But that's the only reason. You may want to decide, you'll say, you know what, Dr. Rush, it may be Cam may start off, and then when I ask for the You know, the fast spots, you say, Julian just wants to present that real quick. And in your slides, Julian, you should have a couple of slides showing your fast spot of querying it and taking like a screenshot of it. You don't have to, you can have your slides be more slides because you're foreseeing that it will be your final presentation, and you can skip through some of those slides, quickly go through those slides. So think about it. I'd like to do things where we're going to reuse it rather than doing slides and then and meeting again to do more slides. This time do it as, hey, this is my final slides, and we'll skip a couple when we present in our 7 minutes, and then you can practice as a group, what can we get across in 7 minutes? And I'll be interrupting you. And the reason I'm interrupting you is not to be rude, but to make sure that you realize how you can make this even better. Think about it as I'm part of everybody's group. And I'm one of the, top investors of your group to say, hey, I want it to look good for the other investors because I want the early exit too. Right, from the group, right? So if I can't build you up, what is, I'm going to get not out of this investment. So think about me as being your top investor, that I want you to look good for the other investors, and also for the investors in terms of your clients, that you can see it. Okay. So, is there anyone else that you want me to kind of give a rundown of your group? You want to put that in the chat? Daniel, somebody going to put it in the chat? Clark, have you done any work since last time we spoke? Since last time I saw it? Okay, can you mind sharing? Who's in your group? Who's in your group here today? Okay. Daniel, can you be so kind and see? You can't. For what group are you, Clark? What group number? Group 5. So I guess you have to unspot. Can I unspotlight myself, Daniel? Okay. Who else is here? Clark. Really? Okay. Maybe later on, like in the groups, yeah. And you just do it through participants, right? Okay. Okay, so you see that? We're spotlighted. Everybody see that? Ethan, you see how everybody's going to be kind of coming in? Spotlighted. You want to be, Connor, when you're going to be doing it, you want to be set up correctly. We'll be doing the recordings, and also when you do your full recording, everybody wants to be looking professional. You don't want to be looking like you're sitting on your bed, with the pillows and the blankets and everything. Too cozy. It's not like a mattress commercial. So you want to look professional. You want to have your face there, even for Monday, right? Even if you're not going to be always the presenters who will be looking at it. Your slides then should show examples of things. You may want to even show examples of of some of the things trying out, but especially things like making sure that all your links are working, all your social media is working, your videos are working. So let's see yours, for example. So you would start off, I'm just choosing, Clark, you decide as a group who will be start presenting. You'll introduce everybody I'd start off with who's in your team, of what is the project, and then what is who's on your team. Everybody will introduce themselves, just whoever, and then you'll go into your slides, and early on in your slides should be a point where you can just click on your URL in your slides, and you'll be able to get into your website. We're not doing the slides yet, but and think about your slide set, your slide deck as your final deck. It doesn't mean that you have to go through all your slides. Now you can quickly go through it and show me, hey, these are on my slides. We're not going to go through all of them in those 7 minutes. So I can give you feedback. Again, think of me, I like that idea. Think of me as your head investor preparing you for your investor meeting. Okay, so you want to, Clark, share your screen? Share your screen, share your website. Really, that's what I want. Yeah, and you'll have your slideshow before, right? Right. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, okay. Okay, does there a description? Can I just interrupt you a minute? So is there Clark, Chief Executive Officer, you can see Chief Financial, so this is good that you have titles, but do you see what they do or what their background is? Do you have anything about that? And where do I find that? Where will they find that? Okay, so what I would do is I would have it right there where I can click to see Clark Pauling, Chief Executive Officer. Click on something and have like a short description of what you do for each of these people rather than looking at documents and so forth. Everybody looks good. They're good pictures. Bright mind. I like you have your logo everywhere, which your logo is awesome, and then you have all your things. Okay, and there were what and the chat bot. The same thing I give on the chat bot. Is good that you wrote chat bot. I basically asked about tutoring questions or something like that. And now click on the chat bot and then find out. You don't have to do it now. Find out what are good questions to ask when you're going to show it. What's going to work. Everybody understand that? And then the podcast, the same thing. AI podcasts of what? Yeah, make it a description because it's an AI podcast. People are going to think that it's a podcast about AI, is our podcast. And then basically, are you showing how to do that too? Where? So I would make, is this video showing just how to do a podcast or doing other things with Notebook LM? Which one? Okay, so I would even do this is somewhere where about our story as a podcast or something like that where where you have that AI podcast about us or something about it or about our tutoring or something like that to make it. Okay, it looks it's yeah. So just say AI podcast of what? You know what I mean? Um just make that clear. Okay, so it's great. So you know what's working and so forth, but those are issues of what I have. And then you'll have your slides. Your slides will be longer, and then you'll have one slide that will incorporate your URL where it's clickable. That somebody, even you can send a deck to somebody and say, here's our deck, and then they'll have your URL. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, perfect. And then you'll have that last slide again, as I told everyone, of what everyone it was doing in the project. And in that case, you don't, when you're doing your recording, I would skip that last, for your official recording, I would skip that last slide for your official recording of what everyone is doing. Keep that slide, but you don't have to show it in the official recording when you send it out. You know what I mean, to everyone that is there. Questions? Okay, great. So you can stop sharing. So now, Daniel, we know how to use Spotlight. They'll probably improve it, but I think that's really good when we're doing it when we have the full measures. So everybody got the idea that help, Lane, in terms of what I'm expecting for Monday. Is that we're straight on, everything's working. Some groups have more to do than others, but you'd say, hey, like on yours, Clark, it'd be the best. Hey, we have very little to do left. Let's just do the recordings after we hear from Dr. Rush. We've heard the recordings. We can set up the recordings. We can put everything up. And even by December 4th, we're finished with with all our materials. That's the best thing. You know what I mean? And then we'll talk about December 2nd, that the one thing that we will do is we'll do a peer review. That will be private, that you will evaluate yourself plus everybody in your group. And you'll be submitting that to me confidentially. Each person. Each person's required to fill out a peer evaluation accurately and honestly, and then there will be overall. Okay? Anything else? Anything in the that I need to nothing in the chat. So let me share my screen. Right. And go to attendance. Check in. Start checking. 6294. And we'll start promptly at 3:35. We'll start with group 1 and go in order. So everyone should be prepared, have all your slides ready to go. All of you will be dressed appropriately. Your camera's working. Introduce yourselves, and then you can decide, but you see in that 7-minute time slot, it may be just more efficient that one person, but for your final, it won't be there. Okay? 6294. Did you put that in the chat, Daniel? So that way we have that available. Okay? And I will turn off my recordings, my YouTube, my regular recordings. I'm going to stop, and then I will answer any questions that people have. Okay, Sebastian. Yeah, so what we wanted to do was try to set up for next semester, Sebastian. So maybe if we stay with me a moment and see what your schedule looks like for next semester, and then we can work it out. Is Ashton available, or is he just still on? Okay, how can we help you, Ashton? You sure? I'm here. If you need me, you can send me an email, or you can send Daniel if you, and we can arrange another Zoom, Ashton, if you need me. Okay? Did you hear me, Ashton? Okay, so if it comes up that you need to talk to me or talk to Daniel, just send me an email. We can schedule another Zoom. Okay, great. All right, perfect. Antonio, fine. Yeah, they each count 10%. Yeah, it's 60 and 20. So if you got 20, let's say, out of 20, you got 100% on the open ended. And let's say, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to? Yeah, you have a minute? Okay, so Daniel set up a breakout room and then I'll spend time with Sebastian. We kind of are trying to be efficient with our time. Okay, can you be so kind, Daniel? And then you can see what is the issue there. Do you see it, Antonio? Okay. Okay, so this is it, Sebastian. We're the only ones in this room. So, so what I wanted to do is we wanted to have you as one as either a teaching assistant or as a teaching assistant in training for next semester. And first of all, we appreciated your work this semester. You did an excellent job, and so you have a positive attitude. So we'd like to offer you that position. Okay, my classes next semester are Mondays and Wednesdays. I have a 3:30, a 5 o'clock, and a 6:30 session. Can you make any of those based on your? Uh, we prefer we prefer you do the 3:30. Okay, perfect. So we'll have you do the 3:30. It's online. So we don't care. So that's the beauty. The only thing is it'll be the same thing. If you can make it for the 3:30, we'll just do twice a semester. We'll just be doing our tests. So so if you could just come to campus for those tests to be a proctor, and then if you could take the 3:30 and then see, right, and then Daniel will kind of be the head TA, and he has the rubrics. And what we'd like you to do is come up with improvements. What can we do to improve it? Next semester, we're going to do a lot more Gen AI. You know what I mean? Where now it was kind of towards the end, we want to filter it from even from the beginning. Try out a number of different uh, applications. So the beauty here is, Sebastian, not only will you be the TA, but you will also learn some new things, and take initiative and learn. Okay, so do you want to be a TA or a TA in training? The difference is the TA has more responsibility and the TA is a paid position. The training would be starting from the beginning, because you weren't a teaching and training from the beginning, learning from Daniel about what you can do, and kind of like be help people in breakout rooms, help people, they can contact you. You can help them with their website. You can help them if we do Ninja Trader. I'm not sure we're going to do it, but whatever we do, you'll be trained. So sometimes what people do for a whole semester, they want to be a teaching assistant in training so they don't have like the pressure. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, so one of the things is you're going to have to do is you'll need to send me what do we need? I guess you need to send me that you're willing to be a TA, that you're committed. Daniel, he's free on Sebastian on Mondays and Wednesdays. And what's interesting, he asked when would we like him, and I said the 3:30 spot. What do you think, Daniel? And he said that's his preference, anyways. See, so it's perfect, And then right, everything, Daniel, everything works out for us always, right? If we're Yeah, and then what would be good then, Daniels, we can start earlier arranging our course syllabus, and we can get Sebastian involved earlier. You can share with him. He can come up with improvements of even what you have in terms of the assignments, and that'll be good as somebody right there can. It will help a lot that you can already be, since you can already be there. So we'll have Daniel kind of be the first lead, since he's been already our teaching assistant, Sebastian, and you'll be the second lead, but you'll be both my teaching assistants. It sounds perfect, and then you already can do that. And send me an email, Sebastian, about with your C number. I think I need your C number so I can tell that the university, they can get you on board to be my TA. So you'll have to fill out some forms. Yeah, send me an email that we can have it. Send it to my Miami address of Dr. Rushanek. You can use my formal name and just say, you're happy that that I chose you to be your teaching assistant, for for the spring semester. Okay, and we can do that, and then that way we can have you continue, and then maybe we can get you on board, because a lot of times what's happening is they have to approve you before you work for me. So in that case, this they have some weeks that they have to get, they have to make sure everything is, all your papers and things before. Have you ever worked for the university before? Okay, so then that's what I'm saying. So they have to put you into the system, and they, with your bank account and everything else. And then you just do workday with your hours. Daniel, the beauty is Daniel can guide you if you have any issues on that. But that takes usually a couple of weeks. So they always tell when anybody applies, they always say you cannot work for her until. I'll be perfect. But we can get them on already. Okay, so send me a note, and we congratulate you, Sebastian, to join us on board of our adventure. Okay, see you, Sebastian. Bye. Yeah, it helps a lot. And even if it doesn't work in, you know what I mean? You can come in at 5, you know what I mean? And then we'll worry about the 6. He can come in, but the beauty is all his classes are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and he's on the waiting list for a Tuesday, Thursday. So, and he says 3:30 works the best for him. So it's awesome. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that needs to be. If we don't have enough time now, let's set up a time. What's today? Monday. Let's set up a time. What I'm thinking about. What I'm thinking about is look at what I had before, or something like that, that people see everybody together. They see everybody's. I want to go over it on Monday with them before they even do their presentations. Make sure, next Monday they know where it is and they can already start, they can do that. Yeah, we can. The only thing is, I don't know, unless we can do it's just, no, but I want it to be the best. We're collaborators here. I don't want it just to be, and you were the student. Most of it, I'll tell you, most of it is 90% is useless for me. What I really get, 90% are useless for me because the worst groups always say they were the best, right? And everybody, it's completely. But what I do get from it, if somebody is really an unusual slacker, no participation, and everybody in the group says that, I get I get a sense of where this person really deserves a lower grade comparatively. The beauty here is the only thing that we'll have to do, and maybe we'll emphasize it here, is everyone will make it, I guess you'll make it as a separate grade. Have you done the video? So do that separate for everyone because the generic is the generic. Or we can, maybe we can make it where we can improve it. You know what I mean? But even on yourself, we need to make sure that they have their names and also their full names there. Because one time, you know what I mean? A first name, last name, yourself, first name, last name. And then the group member, make sure that, a lot of times they say Mary or Joe, you know what I mean? They don't even put your name first, last, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. Attends group meetings regularly, contributes meaningfully to group discussions, completes group assignments for working quality, contributes. And it really, many times, all of this doesn't matter if they really have done nothing, it will come out. John never came to any meetings, John never did anything, and you know, John, the only time is he came for the group presentation and, did what, ask what slide should he read. But then how do we want to do that as upload? And do we want to do it as an upload? I like the idea of it being as a quiz. You know what I mean? So then I can see your point. I and even put it in the quizzes, in the quiz section, as yeah. Yeah. Or put it like you did it before. I don't know. I'm not tied to this. You understand? But that true false kind of thing, you know what I mean? Attended, yeah, right. Attends all meetings, few meetings, What do you I like the idea that we it gets a grade. You know what I mean? But that grade is but that grade, all I want for the grade is if they submitted it or not, because I don't, that's not going to be their grade. If they gave themselves all 100, they're not getting 100. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So your way is not I just thought it was just easier to fill out rather than going one, two, yeah. Oh yeah, I like it too. The question is, do we want to keep it that I'm open. Yes. Yeah, I like that of open. There should be an open your comments. Your comments of comments about the project and comments about members in your group.
So like a general comment.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean,
I like this too. You know what I mean? I just didn't like that true false because it gave me like he was at a meeting, but you know he wasn't. He was at 50% of the meetings, or he was always late to the meetings, or
yeah. I mean, I guess.
I guess. But it's okay. You know, it's not a big deal one way or the other.
Yeah. I mean, it
Eh,
wasn't the first time I've done that.
Okay, okay.
I think it's
But here, group member one, group member one. So if I only have two group members, then what do I do?
so you would type the name
Yeah,
and answer
right. Yeah, well, let's answer it all.
you would go to the fourth and then
Now, why the next one? Why does it say third?
it should say second.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's why I got confused.
Yeah, I mean, me too.
Okay,
You would insert the second one, and then you would have to insert both of them. Then you would take off the
right.
group member one.
Yeah. So I have to fill it. So I only have two members. So what do I have to do with member three?
Just fill in the group.
Okay, and then when I submit, it's so if you go to, do you get grade center too? You see the same thing I do? Okay. I don't think you're, I don't think you're going to see yourself because you're not a student. You know what? You can reach out to, yeah, well, you can ask even, what's his name?
Sebastian.
Sebastian now. I think Sebastian will work out well.
I hope so.
And how has he done with the work that you've done? I thought he did well. Did well in the exam.
Yeah.
Okay, and in the exam he got like he got the second highest score
Yeah, that's good.
for this class. For the second class, there weren't. That was interesting. Yeah, and I would have thought the opposite, right?
Yeah.
So, and if anybody asks you, I'm going to make the same. Probably I'm going to make the same curve for both classes, because then it'll be, you know, why was I not? If I were in the other class, I would have gotten a better grade. Yeah, yeah. It just seems to me they have to do five, even they have to do two. You know what I mean? I think.
I think you can just coach it.
Yeah, I don't want to coach it.
Well, I think you can.
The only thing you can do, you can reach out, is if you have time, and maybe I'll do that too, is there's a guy named, I guess I always like that name. There's a guy named Daniel in Blackboard that's a software engineer. Contact Blackboard if you get a chance and ask when Daniel, the software engineer, is working. And ask him if he has another idea of how you could do this. Yeah, just call. Yeah, what I do is I just call their number.
Okay.
Just call them when you have time. You know, when you have more time, and just ask them when is Daniel. Daniel, I forgot Daniel's last name. It's some Hispanic name, but it's Daniel, software engineer. What is his hours? And then give him a call, and say you want to set, or and then you can even give him a call and say, hey, you want to set up a time for him. And he's the most experienced. Plus, he's a software engineer. Tell him what we want to do. What's the best way for us to accomplish that? We really just want it to be standouts because it's really not a number that we really care. You know what I mean? I'm not going to take the weakest group and just give them high scores because usually the weakest group gives themselves the highest scores. But I just want to have it for exceptions. Where everybody says, "Oh, this person, Daniel was the best. The best person in my group. He did them." And usually I know that, you know, but it's the weakest ones. I know they're weak, but I usually don't know how weak. You know what I mean in terms of participation. Hey, this guy never even showed up.
Yeah. I mean,
What?
like if they never show up, they just walk away.
Or sometimes they show up, but they're useless too. They haven't done their things on time, or they didn't do much. And the ones that are realistic are usually the ones that they did all the work. If you have like one person, hey, I did the whole project, and this one helped me, and this third person, I had to
People
redo
are
their
very
work.
nice sometimes.
What?
People are very nice sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
I know a few people who have been in my class where they didn't show up.
People don't do. What do you mean? They don't do much
They
work.
didn't. No, any
Right,
value.
right. Any value?
But
Okay.
it's so bad that that's the problem.
Yeah, yeah. That's well. Everything is. Yeah. Don't get me started on that. Okay.
Yeah.
The main thing is I'm glad that you have these opportunities like the teaching assistant that
Oh, I like this.
no, yeah, and you're contribute, and you're having so many more experience that it's not even just what you're doing, but you're having other things. And then remind me, we'll talk about it later, that this will even be part we'll see is we'll make an appointment with Jason to meet with City of Coral Gables, and I think
Okay.
that'll get him a real, and we can even say if we want to that we can help him. It could be part of a project or something for next semester, and maybe you and Sebastian can help, out or whatever.
That would be great.
You know what I mean? Something like make it as part of, part of our class or part of, and see where that's going to fit. Okay. All right. I have to get to my next class. You have to get to your class. Do we need to meet afterwards?
Probably later.
No, definitely that, but I mean at my 6:15.
No, I'll come in. It's
Yeah,
fine.
come in and you're online now too. You don't have to rush.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I'm just gonna say so. Stop by, see what it is, and then we can
Yeah.
make that announcement, and we can even because I really that's the one thing we still need to elaborate on. I just don't like the idea of how it's set up. It just seems like you're filling out forms for non-existing
Yeah.
people
No.
that
I mean, it's more like the number of
yeah,
students.
yeah, right. That you just would say then how many, yes, but I'm just wondering
But
if there's something else or even like a table or something that we can a form that look at, we have of what Blackboard. I don't even want to spend time, of programming it. Does Blackboard have another testing method or something, or
probably.
of assessment or something like almost like a survey or something?
Yeah.
Check on service and I'll check it out too. Okay, let me go to my next class and then we'll speak. Oh, can you do me a favor? Or I can do it. We just need. I think I did. Did I open up Jay? for their tests, their two tests. I can do it. I can do it. It's not a big deal. It's all right. I'll do it. Yeah. Did I? If I didn't, then just do open it. Should be the multiple choice and the okay for both. That's the hard part of it. Okay. And I'm pleased that we got Sebastian there, and he's taking the 3:30 slot. So even if you don't, even if that doesn't work, you can take off at that 3:30. You know what I mean? Or and even you can take the 3:30 and then the 5 and then the 6:30. We can see whether we want another person or even I can, take that. Okay, great. All right, we'll work it out. Perfect. Okay. And then just the spotlight. I just need to tell them, Amelie.
Right click on the name, and it's fairly close.
Yeah, that's a pin, a spotlight. What do you think about that? I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's perfect for presentation. You get everybody up there and you get to see them.
That should have been
Yeah, but I just in passing I was presenting at another online conference and all of a sudden when I was presenting on a panel, they did that. And then I said, "Oh, there must be something in Zoom that does that." You know. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now benefits, and then we can add that as another part that they can have so everybody can know how to do that. Okay, perfect. Talk to you later. Ciao. Ellie, are you there? Okay. Okay. You back at home or what? Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. So there's still a lot of people left on campus? Oh, that's in some ways that's nice. No, quiet. Oh, right, right, this way. Good, good, good. All right. So maybe it'll be just me and you. It's okay too. And we'll see. If not, that's okay too. We can catch up, and you can tell me what's happening in your life. I can tell you what's happening in my life. So hopefully you got something out of the class. So that's it. Really good. I enjoyed having you, anyways. We had some good times, anyways. We had some good laughs. So listen, Ellie. I also, just so you know, I released the grades too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's the same curve as it was last time. I think you did okay. Yeah, I think so. I think somebody asked me last time, do I have to come? When I said, well, we're going over the group, I guess, when I said you don't, so maybe people. Because in my first class, I had almost a full class, and I didn't, no one asked, do I have to come? So, anyways, we'll see. What did you get? What did you get? Perfect. And then the second part, what'd you get in the second part? Okay, that's good. So each of them are 10%. So you did well. And then hopefully with your project, right? So how are you doing on that? I know, I know. I thought that was awesome. No, it was. Yeah, I mean, it was. Yeah, because everybody was just in a phase, and then you start hating it. You know what I mean? And you're just anxious over. I don't even know anything about this. How can you present a project and say you're going to be consultants over nothing that you don't want? You know, and not even that you can actually use this. It's useful. You know what I mean? Rather than even if you could figure it out, you say, you know, I'm not in a position to use it. So how much more do you have to do? Okay, have you looked at, did you do the fast bots? The AI app that basically that you know the guy that came from England that you can either use his free version or you can use the paid version. So you need to what I found out from the other class is when people used it they didn't check to see if it works. You want to be able to query it to get some answer. If it always says apologies, I don't know the answer. You have to check it and you have to make sure that it works. Okay. So we'll see who. We'll wait a couple of minutes. We'll see who joins our class today, and then I can start recording. So where are you going to be going to? Ellie? Tomorrow you're gonna go on the flight or what?
Yeah,
Okay. Hopefully it won't be too crowded on the plane. I'm sure it's like the
there's a lot of snow.
really. Yeah, that's exciting. Because I'm just loving this weather. I'm eating it up. Now we're finally getting it where it's dry and you just can. Yeah, we had to wear my heavy sweater, right? The boots. Florida boots when you get into Florida, the Florida boots. So we'll see what we get in turn. So Bianca, how are you doing? Okay. So you're still playing, or the season's over, or what are they doing? Mm-mm, exact same curve. They're available now. Did you see them? Okay. Um, the open ended. You do that on basis of 20, and that's not curved. That's like 90, 80, 70 is ABC, and the multiple choice. I think it was 40 and up was an A, and 30 to 40 was a B. And each are equally weighted. Okay. Each are 10. I think it's 10%. That second exam is 20%, so it's divided 10-10. Even though they're different numbers, you know what I mean? So I think you did okay, no? And then you get in the projects are going to count more than the exam. So how are you doing in the project? Okay, so you have to make sure all the links are working. What I'll do is I'll leave. You have to make sure everything's working, all your links, because you want to show it. I'll talk about it a little bit now. I'm gonna wait another minute or so. I don't know. I have no idea. My class before that it was full, and then I mentioned somebody asked at the end. I think, do we have to come today? And I said, well, if you want your project to be evaluated. So I guess when I said that. Now I know as soon as I said you don't, because I had a full class, the other one. So let me just record this, and then this will be an intimate class, eh? Special attention, extra credit, right? Those that came, double points. So, anyways, I think that's why I ended up by accident saying, well, you don't have to come. Because I always think life is a choice. You know what I mean? You choose to, get out of bed, right? You choose to do something, right? You choose to do sports, right? Everything's a choice in life. So I think I made a mistake on that one. When people were asking me that, you know. So we'll see. We'll see if anybody comes. Let me just start anyways, because it's already 5. I'll wait another minute. It's already 5:15. Yeah. So Eli, how's it going with you? How's your group? Okay. So what do you have left to do? You let Okay. And have you done the fast spot? If you have to think about it, you probably didn't, right? And everybody needs to look at it. And then also, did you do the podcast with Notebook LM? Yeah, so it seems like you have a lot to do. That to me, it seems that it doesn't seem we're almost finished. It seems like we haven't even started, because that's a big one. Everybody in your group has to do a video of an app. Everyone, you need to do the, you have to have that done, and then you need to do the fastbot. Either you get the free version or the paid version. Probably the easiest right now is just do the free version. You don't have to put in a credit card, but it'll scan your website, and then you have to see if it works. You have to ask, you have to query it and make sure that it's working, and then you have to show that it's working. You understand? So I'd say just the opposite. You know what I mean? That you guys. Okay, so let me record in case somebody wants to see this. Okay, I'm going to record to the cloud. I don't think we even need. We have such a small cloud. I don't even think we need to. Let me go live stream to YouTube. I don't think we need to even have a moderator since we're in one group. Go live. Okay. So Jason, are you here?
Yeah, I mean, that's on the table.
Okay. So how are you doing in your group?
I'm doing the all the videos, the podcast,
You know what? You did the fastbot. Can you look at your website and see if it's there?
sure.
Okay, and then I'll have you share in a minute. But let me just share my screen. I'm just going to do a little. I'm recording now. We are with the intimate group, the best of the best, right? Have come to join us, and we're coming back. So let me share my screen. Let me tell you what's happening, and then if somebody wants to listen to a recording, they can. And I'll tell you about what's the rest of the semester. Okay. So let me share my screen, and do you see my screen, Jason? You see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So on my screen, if I go to what's due, on December 2nd. So you know, Jason and Eli, this is going to be important for you, and Ellie and Bianca, is on December 2nd, you should be prepared to show your final version of your project. That final version of your project will be doing a slideshow, and in the everyone in your group must appear. And what I'm going to do is there's something called Spotlight that I will bring each group on stage where you will be spotlighted. You will have a person from your group that will be the main presenter, but each of you will introduce yourself. I will have you show me your slide deck in a shortened version, and I will be like think of me as a member of each of your groups. I will be the investor, the head angel investor, where I'm preparing you to do a presentation to an investor group. So you will be doing a shortened version of this. So what I like is everybody go to your audit area. And let me go to J Audit. And you see where it says Final Group Projects? And you see here under Group 0, each group should have a folder called Final Project. So, what group are you in, Eli? Is Eli there? What group are you in? Group 8. So go into Group 8 and make yourself a folder and call it Final Project. Put in your URL and copy this where you're going to put in, this is your final project materials. After you see me on Monday, I will give you feedback on your project, and you have until the time that it's due. And I think, what did we say? What date do you have it due? I think it's like December 4th or something. We meet on the 2nd, and I think it's the 4th, something like that. You will have your final project, and you will put within this group, you'll put your PowerPoint, any additional media that you will be putting in there. So on your group example, what I'd like you to do now, Elaine and Jason, what group are you in? Group 5. Do the same thing, and Ellie, do the same thing, and Bianca, do the same thing. Put a folder called Final Project, put in your URL under the item, copy this, corrections made since feedback from professor. So after I give you feedback, you can choose if you want to make those corrections. I'm viewing this as what I'm going to see on Monday as your final project, but I'll give you a chance. I'll make suggestions on how you can make your project better. You decide if you want to do that. Most likely, if I make those suggestions, that's in order to get the best possible grade. Do you understand that, Ellie? So you'll be putting here, and after you do those corrections, you will be meeting as a group and make a final group recording as if you're presenting to investors. Ellie, you'll have everybody in your group dress appropriately, you know, not be in bed, not be with pillows. Everybody looks professional. You will then, you can have each person in your group present something. In my session, I'm just going to go quickly. So if I'm doing 7 minutes, you may want to double that time. You know what I mean? You don't want to give like a half hour, but you want to be good enough that you go through your slide deck that somebody can say, Ellie, hey, I want to invest in you. I know what you're doing. I know what your project is, right? And you'll record that to the cloud with no password, and you'll put in the link here. Plus, within the final project, you'll be putting in your final PowerPoints. You'll be putting in anything else that you think that I need to look at. So this is what I will be grading your final project on. So, Ellie, what group are you? What group number? Okay, so one of you doing, and okay, and Bianca, what group are you? Okay, so you do the same thing for group 2. So, and Ellie, you're 8. So in this case, 5. Okay. So do it. Do it. You have it done. Okay. So in the same thing, group 5, put final. Put it right above. So I would put final right above, right? And then you have the scholar. This will be your corrections, and within here you'll have it. Okay. So that'll be group 5, and then for Monday you'll come in, you'll have it, since you'll introduce everybody, right? But in this idea, you'll so quickly to go through it, you'll be doing it. So let's do this for this final project. So if I looked at this group, a group, if I looked at it and I looked at group 5, right? I have Jason and Ellie here, right? And within this, you have that group. We have that final project there. So who wants? Why don't we start with you guys? Who wants to present, Ellie or Jason? Which you guys choose. Just let's kind of like rehearse it a little bit of what's going to be for Monday. So 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 Ellie, you share your screen. Gets an idea what it's going to be, right? You so what you'll do is you'll start off with Ellie. Your group will start off with the put final project. Make that the so it's the first one, yeah, from the side, yeah. Perfect. So you'll start off with your PowerPoint. You'll have your PowerPoint available, and the first couple of slides you may have like your project title, your team member, something like a couple little thoughts about you, and then you'll have a slide with that URL. Right now, I'm just assuming this, but you'll start presenting your slides. You'll have all your slides that you want to do for your final version, but we may skip some slides just because you're going to just have Ellie. You're going to have like a 7-minute deadline. I'm going to also interrupt you as you go through this, just in order to give feedback, because I'm kind of like the consultant, your investor, your team member. But when you do your final presentation, luckily you won't have me, Ellie, in the background, so you guys won't have my interruptions. You understand? So you'll be presenting it officially. So share your website with me. Okay, sharing your screen. Great. So one of the things is it looks a lot better, right? Than what before. And then you have and so basically you want to listen to our AI podcast, right? And then even this one, I like it. Listen to our AI podcast about, and I like you have the your logo, our mission to empower college students to achieve by providing personalized and accessible support that is AI driven. Fantastic. And you'll basically go through all of it. Have you done your bot, the fast bot? It looks like not. Okay, so put a note there that you need to have the fast bot. It should be on the first page. You want to have that fast bot. You want it on your first page, right there. Even after the Notebook LM podcast, yeah, put the fast bot. And then try it out. You can use a free version. You'll need to do that this week, right? It's the easiest. Use the free version. Put a note there. Use the free version. Have it put on the front page. And before you do that, try it out to be able to ask questions that it's able to answer. Right? You don't want to say, what's for dinner or something. You know what I mean? It has to be relevant. And you don't want to have questions that you ask it that it says, apologies, I don't know the answer. It could be one, but you want to have some that you know that it can answer. And you want to show that. You may even want to show it, take a screenshot of it and show it in the slide where you're asking a question to it. You'll be able in some ways it's good enough. You can even in your formal version show your podcast, right? And listen for like 30 seconds or something, you know what I mean? They don't have to listen to all of it. How many minutes is it? 5 minutes, but you can see that. Okay, you have that. Go scroll down, scroll up. What we do, okay? Our team. So click on our team. It was up above, right, about our team. Very nice here. Right, Alexander, I like the idea. Beautiful. Here, let me just read it, is pursuit of a degree from finances, dedicated independent makes. The only thing go up a little bit. I got Jason here, and it's about, let me see yours, Ellie. Is pursuing marketing. She is a dedicated student, wanting to be part of the creative. Okay, maybe what I would do is say what you do for the project and put that degree in for everybody's in finance and marketing, put it below. You understand? Because there it's showing almost you guys, you all look great. It's almost showing you your students. But rather, what I want to see here is everybody's putting the pursuit of, degree in finance is I would have it, what do you do for the company, or how you're excited about the company, what are your things? And then at the end is also, by the way, is pursuing a degree in management or global business or something for all of them. Beautiful pictures, really nice. Okay, go back up. So these are kind of things that I'm services, AI study and practice tools. Okay, where are okay? Scroll down. Okay, homework, helping, customizable study plan, time man. There's a lot of wordy. I don't even know. I would that study planning. Maybe I would cut that down. Maybe and make it bullet points or something. A little too wordy.
I'm just writing these stuff down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then you may even have right. And then services, AI tools.
Yes.
Okay, so if Grammarly, so let me just look at that. Chat, you know what I would do here? Besides just a notebook, that's great. You got everybody do it. Is as about Campino and Ellie. Instead of with the names, which is good, is I would show what is it achieving. Like make go up a little bit. Go up just yeah, right there. Chat GPT. Everybody knows Chat GPT, but what are you demoing there? Yeah, but give me this is supposed to be for study guides. It's just not asking a question on Chat GPT, right? You're going to help me solve a problem. Are you doing multiple choice questions? Are you showing me how to review my exam? The Quizlet, what is that doing? You're showing me how to do what? What?
So just writing like a
Yeah,
bio.
like a little bio, a short little thing, one sentence that nobody wants to go into a video if they don't know what it is. You agree with me?
Yeah.
So I would just say, what problem are you solving?
Okay.
And the same thing for Grammarly. What am I going to use it for? Right? Notebook LM. What part of Notebook LM are you showing? Notebook LM is huge. What problem are you solving there?
Okay.
Okay, an hour. Okay, and you want to make sure all your social media, you see all your links on the bottom there, they should be
Yeah.
working.
They yeah.
But see that?
But that's not perfect though.
Yeah, right, right.
We have to be careful.
Yeah.
Like
Let's see.
when you're
You see that? Oh, so you understand? You don't want to be in the situation on next Monday that's happening.
okay.
It should, you know what I mean? Should work and does work are two different things, and it worked last week and it doesn't work today, right? Or it
Yeah.
worked in the person's computer and that did it and doesn't work on your computer. Everybody needs to test it out because sometimes it'll work with on the person whose account it is, but it doesn't work. You're a member of Instagram, right? So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, I'm just showing you, it doesn't, I'm just showing you that, and you should be following each other.
Okay.
You should have, so you should be populating this. At least among yourselves, you should follow each other.
Okay.
What else? Protect us. Where is this working?
Going now.
So, you want to check that it works. So, can you do the 25th? Can you make it? So, you want to check to see. So, any link you have, you want to make sure that it's working. And so, you wouldn't even put in the name, the emails to see that are you getting it back? Is it working? Later on, you may even want to do a slides on some of these that are working. So you need to have the fast spot. You need to have all the links working. You need to have it not emphasizing that you're university students, but emphasize what you do for the what you do for this project, and then mention, by the way, I'm no dummy, right? I'm a finance or marketing major or whatever. I'm just kidding, right? So, but and then you want to see that it's working. You want to click on that podcast link, make sure even though there's a link, is it sounding? Go to the front page, go to home, right? I don't have to do this, but just by the way, just click. Oh, okay, fine. Okay. But you understand, you just want to make sure that everything is working. Listen to our AI podcast. You know what I would do? Listen to our AI podcast that that shows how to be, use AI with whatever. It's not bad, but you understand? Great. But a big improvement, Ellie. Don't you? You know what I mean? You can see that something to be. Don't you think so? I mean, something you be proud of, something you can actually take with you, and then you really want to beef up your social media. You know social media, and you know that that's not good enough. You know what I mean? You want to have it compelling. Even you want to do little clips on it now. You even want to do maybe even instead of Facebook. If all of you don't have Facebook, maybe do TikTok or something. You know what I mean? Make it engaging. That somebody would want to use. That later on. And the beauty here is you'll have that link. You'll have your link from Zoom, and you can really show it. You can be part of your portfolio. What have you done? You know. Nobody's going to get, no offense, but nobody's going to care. Show me your exam. Show me that you got, and nobody's going to be, I hate to tell you, but nobody's going to be impressed you got an A on your exam. And look, I got, this is my exam on multiple choice, on true, on open, and nobody, but this, oh, you can do that for me? Oh, AI tools? Can you teach us? And this could actually be something, empower school scholars. This is what, okay? You got the idea? Yeah, but and this is for everybody. You understand? It wouldn't be anything. So you can critique it. Take your group together and critique it. You can. I'm just doing a superficial one, right? Later on, you want to take each part of that and see if is it searching. Is any of this one? Does the search? I don't want to waste my time. And what are those two lines after to the right of contact us? What are those lines? Do they do anything? Oh, okay. Sell better team of services AI to its beginning, right? And and scholar, right? Yeah, no, but I'm just saying that just to see if it's working. You got everything. Our mission, and just basically our mission, personal life. It's still not clear. What are you giving somebody? Where's the tutoring part? What are you giving somebody? Are you going to teach me how to use these tools? Are you going to give me, are we doing one on one? How are you going to tutor me and I'm going to have the aid of this? I'm asking you. You understand? What do you do? I'm signed up, but what are you going to give me? I got even this to the left sounds like an AI bot. Our mission to empower college students to achieve academic by providing personalized and accessible learning support that is AI driven. I don't know what that means. Do you? You don't either. You see that right there? Tell me. I'm going to teach you the latest tools to have you succeed in your tests. Right? I'm going to teach you how to make multiple choice questions. I'm going to teach you flashcards. I'm going to teach you this. doesn't. These are a lot of words. They're spelled correctly, and probably the AI wrote it, right? We all know that, right? But it's meaningless to me of what it is to you, and you don't know what forcing it. What are we giving to somebody? If I said, okay, I'll even pay you, Ellie, but what are you going to teach me? Do I come to you individually? Is this going to be online? It seems like this could be online. We'll have Zoom seminars. Are you going to teach me? Is it going to be as a group? Are you going to give me tutorials every week? Are you going to be subscribed to our channel? Do we have like a YouTube channel? You understand, you got the beginning. It's much better than before. You know what it is. And now, Ellie, I want to invest in you. What services are you going to give students? You're going to give them. To me, it would be, hey, we'll teach you how to use these tools, and every week or every month we'll get beginning of Chat GPT, advanced Chat GPT, other things, Quizlets, whatever. And each week we'll do different tools, or subscribe to our channel or subscribed here. It'll be free, and then later on we'll have to make it viable, we'll have sponsors from the companies. We'll have sponsors trying to sell things to students. I think it should be digitally from all over the world. You know what I mean? This is an online teaching you about the tools. You decide where you're going to need it. If you take chemistry, you teach finance 101 or finance, graduate finance will help you. You teach it. You understand? This is what you have to emphasize, and this is what was missing. You got that, and now you say, okay, now let's make it a business. Now everybody was everybody was interested. Okay, we got to get a social media, but what's the social media about? Then your social media is better. This is what you need, and and you understand it. If you were a student and you knew a little bit of Chat GPT, what else can you teach me? In Notebook LM, I can teach you. It's not just doing a podcast. It's basically you can bring out all your study guides, and I'll show you how to use it, to make a study guide of this. We'll help you with this. And then we'll get more advanced as we go, and we'll discover new tools for you, once a month or whatever. You can come to us on a weekly basis, a group meet. Do you want a group? Or it could be like you could do a calendar, or calendar is, via Zoom. Makes sense, right? We record them. You can see our recordings by topic. Then you think about it as a real business. You know what I mean? So think about it that way, that you want to incorporate it that way. You understand? Rather than, hey, I checked off and big deal. Everybody can do a website, right? It's not, and you can see now with AI, it writes blah 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 blah, right? But to figure out what you want to do, now you got it out, which is great. Now tell me the same things of how is this actually going to help. So that's what I wanted that blurb about, and you may have to go back and improve your videos now. You know what I mean? I'm just guessing, right? This is the scenario. This is the problem. I had a test, last month, right? In business technology. I haven't had time to read all those. I have slides. I have the book. I have Quizlets. I now need to have something to help me study. What can I use? Okay, with the same problem, I can use it in Notebook LM. I can use it in ChatGPT. I can use it in Gemini. I can use it in a number of ways. This will help me study for the exam, right? That's what everybody's worried about, right? It's what's on the exam. What can we could have a robot basically be with me, right? Dr. Rush, right? My digital twin. What's on the exam? Do I need to know, what is going to be on the open-ended, right? And if you had open-ended questions, you could feed it into whatever program, and it would help you study for the open-ended or the multiple choice or whatever. Actually show them, and in that case it may even be interesting with the same scenario, show you different tools that will do it, rather than everybody just to, of a boring little video on how to use ChatGPT, but rather, what is the problem? These 4 videos are just going to be samples of how we can help you solve that problem. And then we'll have a library of it or whatever. Then you can come up with questions for us. Or then it can be, we can do that, and then later on we can have the AI tools help us. And then maybe we can actually then have a real tutor come in. But real tutors are available somewhere, but you have to be prepared for a real tutor. The real tutor isn't 24/7 with you. This is 24/7 with you. Something like that. Okay, does that help? Big time. And Bianca, are you there? Did you understand what I said to her? Same thing with you guys. Do I need to go over it with you, or you got it? You got it. You understand? And whatever I would say to Ellie could be my assistant on Monday, and she could look at somebody else's case and give them the same advice, right, Ellie? When you read it, right, you could say, hey, that's blah blah, that's AI gibberish. Now make it real. What are you actually presenting to them? Right? You could do that. You could grade everybody. Maybe I'll do that in the future. You could grade everybody's project just as well as I could. Does it make sense to you? Do you know what they're selling? Do you know what they're giving? Do all their links work? Are they relevant? Social media. I don't have to tell you how to tell you to post. You know how to post. It's not a class on posting, right? But it's a class on, is it compelling enough? Do you have a post that will make me want to, that you're giving me something? So your post, almost, Ellie, you'll be in charge, and you and Jason are telling people, hey, we got to make posts that are going to tell us about their, you got to give me tips and tricks on the posts that are either that are not on my website or adding to my website. Give me posts, give me tips. Here's a quick study tip. Same thing with everyone else. I think it was useful. And it doesn't, and if anybody views this, they'll see it too. Sophia, Marie, are you there? Okay, do you have any questions? What group are you on, Sophia? Okay. So, you're doing the real estate. Okay, so the first thing in the real estate, right, is we're going to share here my screen. Do you see it? And in this case, you see the J. You see every group has a folder called Final Project. You see this is group 5. They have their URL, and they have this part that you need to copy. The corrections made with feedback from the professor and the Zoom link. You need to put that in your final group project. Do that now. You can take from group 5, or you can take from group 0 and put that into your group 4 final project, and make final project of that folder on top. Okay. Did you do that? Perfect. Okay. So what else? Anything else? I think that's it. So basically, then I want everybody to come on time. We're going to start because we're limited in time frame. We're going to start at 5:05. Each group will have 7 minutes to do that. You can decide then. Everybody will be in the center. I'm going to have them be spotlighted, what we call. So I'll call everybody to the center of the room. You'll introduce everybody to your group. You'll do 7 minutes. I'll interject my points. It'd be good, Bianca, is have somebody in your group other than the presenter take down notes, right, of what I ask. It's also going to be recorded, but it's good to take down notes. Also, it's good to take down notes of even what I tell other groups because I may not just get everything, but you can see it's generic, right? Of having the fast spot, having actual parts that actual queries that actually work. Make sure that it works. Same thing. Make sure your podcasts are working. Make sure that you have descriptions on your videos of what you're actually trying to present. And then your last slide should be what, Bianca? Do you know what you're supposed to have in your last slide of your deck?
Should that be our introductions? I mean,
And what they've put the first name, last name, and just shortly of next to each of their names what they've done for their project. And then for your final recording, you can have that in your deck, but you don't have to record for your final recording that because that's going to be like to investors. So you don't need to say, Bianca did this. It's up to you. Okay, and then once you get the feedback, then you'll do a final. You'll make those corrections and do a final recording, and then you'll upload it everything to the final, and then I'll let you know on next week too. I'll have you fill out a peer review document that will only go to me, that you're evaluating yourself and everyone in your group on how well they've done. So that takes into account, if there's usually, basically, if there hasn't been someone that really participated fully in the group, you know, that I'm aware of and that you can evaluate yourself and what improvements you think you needed to do for the project. That's self-evaluation and self-reflection. Okay? And also about each group. Anything else? So, Sophia, do you have any questions? All right. So I think that I'm fine for that. Let me stop recording. Stopping my YouTube. I'm stopping my regular recording. And then I'll stay for anything that anyone has, personally they want to discuss. I'm not recording anything. You remember how I always say my need to know in security? People don't need to know other people's personal issues. Okay? Anything that you need.
are we taking attendance today?
No, since we just have such a small class, you know what I mean? But we can think about it as an extra. I think we got an extra boost. I think it was invaluable, don't you, Ellie?
I definitely.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So it's that attendance. It's not. I think we got more than the 1 point. You
Do
know,
we get extra credit?
you'll get extra credit when your project is better than anyone else's. You know what I mean? That's the extra credit. I do too, and stay safe. It's and gratitude to everybody. Okay, and have a safe flight too. And Sophia, how are you doing? Anything else you need to discuss with me? Okay. Ciao, ciao. Bye. Stop here.